TTRPG News. All right, so first on, I realized our chat is going to cover us a little bit.
Yes, it is.
First up on tonight, first up, the most important thing of the show is that Weston must, at the beginning of the show, update the date that he forgets to update every week.
You have one job.
I have
Be in charge of all of the tech of the show and don't make a single mistake. Come on.
Yes. So,
oh my gosh. Oh,
welcome.
Wait. Oh, no, wait. Okay, you do the welcome, but then we have to do the thing.
Welcome to TTRPG News. Today, Monday, June 13th.
If you are catching this on the VOD, you can hang out with us live here at twitch.tv/partyoftworpg. You can see the chat rolling below. We have a really good time. We love talking about the news of the week. And if you want to be a part of it, come hang out with us on Mondays at 8 p.m. on Twitch. Back to you, Weston.
All right. So first up tonight, Matt Colville's MCDM Productions' new psionic class, the Talent, has just released for playtest. This is the second round of playtests. The public playtest is intense, with over 80 pages of material detailing 7 subclasses, over 100 powers to customize a talent's abilities, as well as psionic creatures, psionic items, and new gemstone dragonborn with innate psionic powers. This class looks like it'll most likely be released as a standalone class or supplement in their next full-length rulebook. Check out the link in the chat. And then I will drop that in the chat.
Weston's going to drop that in the chat. Okay. So that's fun. It's second round of playtests. All of the information that you need if you want to do playtesting with it is on that link, including the survey at the end. I did a little perusing. Looks kind of cool. I don't know much about the psionic class,
it's
though,
a psychic.
so.
It's generally a psychic type situation.
Oh, okay.
So psychic powers and things like that.
That makes of sense.
I have not had a chance to dive into any of Matt Colville's stuff, but I know I want to when I find time in my life.
Because, it's not like there's 10,000 other things going on. So, going on to our next news event for the week, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, a video game based on D&D. If you don't know what Baldur's Gate is, we need to educate you. It is getting the full remastering treatment, just like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 got. The newly remastered version of the game is available, or will be available, on Xbox and PlayStation consoles, and for the very first time on Steam and Nintendo Switch. There are no official release dates for the game yet. However, they did say that it is going to come out in summer of 2022. So hopefully, fingers crossed that it's really soon. The pages already exist on Steam and the Nintendo eStore. So if you want to, I think you can pre-order or get an alert when the
you can.
Stuff
I mean,
goes
at
live.
least I know on Steam you can generally put it as your wish list and things like that, and it'll notify you when there's changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Third, tonight, you can now battle Vecna in D&D Beyond. Vecna, the most powerful villain of all time for D&D, is now available, fully statted in the Vecna dossier, which is a free... Whatever. I'm not French.
I'm not French either, but I know how to say it.
Update on D&D Beyond. I do wonder how closely it'll be interesting to go back and look at Matt Mercer's build for Vecna in Campaign 1 of Critical Role and see how closely do they match.
Yeah.
This is a pre-lost limb. Oh, Vecna.
Yeah, because this is before, so he still has his hand and his eye.
At the height of his power, adventurers can now take on the god, but don't expect it to be easy. At a challenge rating of 26, even a party at level 20 will struggle against him. This version of Vecna isn't preloaded with spells, but does have things like Flight of the Damned. I don't even know what that is. What is Flight of the Damned?
I
know. I'm going to that.
Oh.
What it is, creatures in a 120-foot cone must pass a DC 22 Constitution saving throw or take 8d8 damage and be frightened of Vecna for 1 minute. Ooh. And then other abilities as well. And if you can spare $262, you can buy a creepy and huge Vecna resin statue to prop down on the table to terrify your players. How big is this statue?
It's big. It's probably... They tried to make it like proportionate, but if it's proportionate, it's like he's like bigger than a giant. It's like this big.
Yeah.
Like, it's massive, like Titan size.
Yikes.
So yeah, it is a really cool statue though, and it's beautifully done. The artist that they got to do it was wow.
Yep. Well, we all know why this is coming out now.
It's life size.
Stranger Things season 4 with Vecna as the bad guy. We all know why it's coming out.
There is a difference between the Vecna from Stranger Things and the Vecna from D&D. Though.
There is.
Like they didn't do a straight rip off.
But everyone's gonna be like, well, I imagine
it's called Vecna, but the stats and stuff are not exactly.
Well, I imagine that what it is much like in the original one. The creature actually isn't named the Mind Flayer. They called it the Mind Flayer because they took the name from their D&D game. So I imagine it's going to be the kids who play D&D see him and they call him Vecna.
Probably.
Because they know Vecna from D&D.
Probably.
That's probably the way that's going to lay out. I haven't watched the season yet, but I imagine that's how Vecna is iconic. And now we get him for this.
It's going to be really cool. And if you missed it, they do have the VOD available on D&D Facebook page, or not Facebook page, excuse me, YouTube of D&D
Beyond.
Dave Waters. What the heck? God.
His name right, Hayley.
The dude that does the stuff is DMing the kids who are on the TV for the show. It's cool. Go watch it. Oh my gosh, I'm going on to the next one. So
Walters is doing what?
He GM'd them.
The cast
from Stranger Things.
Oh, that's fun.
And whatever. We're just going to move on. I should not try to wing crap. All right. So this last one, if you have followed us for a little while, you know that we do not do drama on this show. We don't cover drama. We don't go over drama. We don't do the drama things unless it's theater drama. And then we do that. However, because this is going to have pretty big rippling effects within the community of the online TTRPG space, I did feel like we should cover kind of what happened this last week with Satine Phoenix and Jaimison Stone. But I wrote it so that I could read it, so I'm going to read it. All right. So accusations of verbal abuse, underhanded business dealings, and shortchanging freelancers have come forward to popular online D&D personalities Satine Phoenix and husband Jaimison Stone. Phoenix and Stone own Apotheosis Studios, a TTRPG publication company with 2 major 5e supplemental books coming out, Sirens, Battle of the Bards, and Red Opera, Forsaken Pax. Rumors had been circulating around the community for a while now, but the tipping point was when Chad Rowe, a tattoo artist who had previously worked on both Phoenix and Stone, published conversations that show the alleged verbal abuse from both aforementioned individuals. This created a landslide of former freelancers that worked with Apotheosis Studios, releasing similar conversations via text messaging or Discord, showcasing the alleged abuse. In response, Stone released an apology on his Twitter page to Chad Rowe, but did not address the others that had come forward. As of June 10th, Stone has stepped down as the CEO of Apotheosis Studios, and co-writing director Rich Hines has said, after Sirens is done, the last bit of writing Pat and I did for Red Opera Forsaken Pax will be finished. I am not sure the studio is going to be around after everything is released, and I don't know what the future looks like. Today, Phoenix released a statement apologizing for causing harm and said she would be addressing individuals separately. This was kind of a big deal within the community, and there are multiple individuals you can find on Twitter who have kind of serialized the entire situation, and you can find it all. I just thought these are the most important parts, and it is going to have a lasting effect in the fact that this is the first instance, I feel, of a fairly major celebrity type individual within the space that has been kind of pulled down. Now, there were others who have been semi-important within the community, but I feel like this is the first time that this was a pretty major individual.
I think it's pretty, I do want to real quick give a shout out Dragons Keep TV who rated us.
Oh, thank you so much for the rating.
I didn't want to interrupt this news story to bring that, but I mean, this just brings back, this reminds me somewhat of what happened with Paizo. where there were some allegations of misconduct in regards to freelance writers, which prompted the forming of the union.
Yeah, and which ended up being an incredibly powerful and good move on everybody's part with that situation.
So I think this is just more evidence that the freelancing community is in need of this unionization. There are definitely companies that are wanting to try and stiff people on different things, on paying and all that stuff. And I imagine if these individuals had been members of the union, I question if they would have had to deal with these same issues.
Yeah, well, and the hard part is that it's a union specifically for Paizo. So you enter in as a freelancer, you enter in the union when you're working with Paizo. So it's not a general freelancer.
There actually is a general freelancer one that is in that same vein.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I did not know that.
So yeah, so there is freelancers, it's a hard job. You put a lot of work into it, but it looks like there's definitely protections that are needed. And I think the more and more that freelancers are coming out about these situations, the more it's going to kind of shake up the industry and be like, hey, freelancers create a lot of the content here. You better treat us right.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, RX. I don't think this is going to shake out as well as the Paizo situation. I honestly believe that we have seen kind of the last of the Apotheosis Studios and possibly of Phoenix and Stone, which I don't like that situation for anybody. I don't like it when people completely get their entire everything destroyed and kicked out of communities. However, I do feel like it is very important to be honest about your experiences with people, because that, more than anything else, like how you treat people is what makes you an asset to the community or a liability. And if more people were more open about their experiences at the beginning, instead of being like, oh, well, and there's kind of celebrity, I can't like.
Well, and you also see the way this came out. Most people won't do it for themselves, but it wasn't until this artist figured out that they were doing it to others that then they were willing to come out. And I believe there is, and I will look into that. I know that there was they were invited to there was a bunch of unions that all went to the White House recently, and there were TTRPG ones in that. So I can look into that more and remind myself what it was. But this is just, evidence of that need to share, because it was only when they found out that other creators, other freelancers were being treated bad too, that suddenly everyone's like, hey, we're going to step forward for others. So you need to step forward for yourself also as well. And it's a sad day when anyone is getting mistreated in the space. And so we just hope that things like this just help to have a better community and better transparency among the working here in the TTRPG space.
And I heard a lot of criticism over the weekend about this idea that there shouldn't be popular celebrity status individuals within the TTRPG space. And I don't believe that that is valid. I feel like it's totally fine. There's going to be celebrities. There's going to be popular individuals in any space.
Always will be.
That there is a community. The thing that I think needs to be held accountable is the idea that if someone is not a good person to work with, not to hide that.
Yeah.
That, it's not okay to be afraid. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm the type of individual that I am. I have had teachers pretty much tell me that if anyone ever came at me, that I would respond very badly.
Yes, you would. Lost Tribes Gaming did drop that there's the rights and protections for game workers.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that is a union that is for freelancers and stuff like that. And, unions have their place. I mean, there are definitely industries where I see that unions, they've almost gone beyond their need and gotten everything. So they've got to continue to validate their existence by saying, we want more. And then there are other industries where it's like, dude, we could really use some unionization here because freelancers, they've got no one to push for them.
Well, and a lot of times they don't have any leverage until they reach a level that is very difficult to attain.
Very difficult.
So I agree. I totally agree with that.
So he just dropped the link. Lost Tribes Gaming.
Yes,
Gaming
thank
dropped that
you.
link.
Thank
so
you,
if you are a
Jerome.
content creator, I'm sure that you're concerned about this and the treatment of freelancers within the space, and we can only hope that the community will learn.
Yes. And Starry Night, I did see your question, and we will get around to that. But that is the end of... No, that is not the end of... Frick,
Nope,
I
we
forgot.
got one more.
So we have a community announcement tonight, you guys. I'm so excited. So our good friend... I hope you don't mind me calling you good friend. Enio, because everyone's my good friend.
We should be good friends.
We should be good friends with all of the people. It's reached out to us for a community announcement. They have a really cool horror theme adventure on Dungeon Masters Guild, DN's Guild, better known, and wanted us to kind of talk about it. It's really cool. Let me read the blurb, maybe, if it will let me. Why is it not letting me read the blurb? Why does DM's Guild hate me? Hold on 2 seconds, because I'm super awesome. There it is.
Hey, it wasn't even 2
I
seconds.
found it. Okay, so I'm going to read the blurb really quick so that you guys can know what this is. But it is called Whisper of the Weave Walker. Okay.
Those are whispers.
I got that. A village with an ancient secret and no way out. Can you survive unchanged? The village is eerily quiet. A cold mist spreads between the dark wooden homes, moving ever so slowly until it swallows the entire village out of view, leaving only a small purplish light visible high above the houses, somewhere deep inside the village. Something. I think it cut off. Dang it. All right. Anyway, Whisper of the Weave Walker is a horror adventure for Tier 1 players. It is set in a remote village of Pardosa. In this adventure, players can visit a mysterious ancient tower or discover an unusual collection in the Dream Seer's open library. Oh, that's like what I want to do because I like libraries. But something is wrong in Pardosa. Something is very wrong. What has left that strange mark on the field of crops? Why are the villagers acting strange? What secrets are buried under the village? As characters face the bizarre events of Pardosa, they'll have to survive the unseen whispers that threaten to take control of them. It's actually really, really cool. So there was a bomb. Bomb. So it's got a lot of really cool stuff. So it's got a 25-page digital PDF, which includes unique art for the adventure, all the stat blocks needed to run, plus a customized stat block for the boss monster, 2 random event tables that add a new dreadful mechanic, which is, you just go read the thing. It's actually real cool. A detailed flowchart of the adventure, so it's going to be very easy as GMs to go through the entire process. There's 2 adventure maps, a separate zip file for the flowchart, and map PNGs for ease of use, and PDFs with alt text, bookmarkers, and print-friendly versions. Content warning, however, this adventure includes art and descriptions of spiders.
I'm triggered.
It also is references body horror and gore. For more information on safety guidelines, you can see page 2 of the adventure. So I'm gonna drop the link really quick into the thing in the chat and the things. But go check them out. It's a really good thing, and they are actually in the chat. Enio, yeah, Enio goes. So yeah. It's very cool. I'm dropping the chat. I'm going to stop getting distracted.
Hey, Hayley, there's a squirrel over there.
Shut up.
All right, so I think that is all that we have for tonight for TTRPG News on today, Monday, June 13th.
It's at night.
It's at night.